Another Black Friday is upon us. I've been monitoring prices like I usually do, along with researching what cheap project phone I should get for 2019. This year, my choice of a smartphone was more obvious than previous years. To see what I narrowed it down to, stay tuned. This year, as in past years, I created a shopping list to monitor prices way back in August. I ended up with 3 phones to track. These were the Omidigi A3, the Blue Vivo Go, and the Motorola Moto X. I've had some experience with the Moto X from a hand-me-down I got from a friend. She gave it to me because she was having problems with battery drain, where she would be at 100% in the morning and by lunch it would be below 50% even though it sat idle all morning. For those who have this phone and want to try a solution for the battery drain issue, I have one. My fix changes an Android setting common in most phones, so anyone having this issue should easily be able to try this and change it back if it doesn't help. Go into your Android settings, select Wi-Fi, the gear menu, keep Wi-Fi on during sleep, then select Never. On Amazon, the Moto X is on the pricier side of my $100 limit, but it is a 1.7 GHz phone, which is higher than my 1.5 GHz minimum. The Blue and the Umidigi were decent phones, both priced at $79, still were close to my limit on what I was comfortable with paying for a project phone, but it was really hard to find anything better. I decided to track these phones, hoping that Black Friday deals might come through for me on any one of these. If you saw last year's video, you'll know my choice of phone was the LG Rebel 4. I picked up 7 of these, used 1 for personal use, 2 for projects which were both in videos, and I destroyed 2 more for my Frankenstein project, for which I'm currently working on a part 2 video using a 3rd phone. The personal use phone worked well for me throughout the year. I used it exclusively and had no major problems. It did take some getting used to with the power button on the back of the phone, but that was pretty minor. As far as recommending this phone, I would recommend it with some cautions. My personal phone has worked great all year, but in using this in my Frankenstein project, I did something to the battery that now flashes a message, invalid battery. In trying to find a workaround for this, I found that many people on many different models of LG phones are all getting the same message, some for no reason at all. I found that to be really strange and the reason why I'd recommend it at your own risk. Another reason why I'd cautiously recommend this phone is because my son got an LG K4 for his birthday. His LG has a problem with the system software where if you set the screen timeout to any value, it will always time out in 10 seconds. To this day, he's not found a fix. Once again, when Googling this issue, I found that many LG owners are having this same issue. In doing a generic search on this issue, I did find that Samsung phones also have this issue. To be clear, I did not encounter this issue with my Rebel 4. In fact, I really liked using my $40 Rebel 4 for the past year. A short time after I recorded the issues clips you just watched, I decided to research again my son's issues with the screen timeout and this time was able to resolve it using an app named Gravity Screen. Where Android is only checking screen touches for activity, Gravity Screen monitors sensor activities selected within the app. For instance, one of the settings keeps the screen on as long as the phone is moving, even a little. In addition, I activated another setting to immediately turn off and lock the screen if the phone is placed face down. With the timeout issue now resolved, my son is now very happy with his LG. As for the Black Friday deals, I again started with Target. It was okay, I think worse than last year. They had 2 phones, neither of which interested me. I then checked the Walmart ad. Right away, the phone that caught my eye was the Samsung Galaxy A10e. In checking on specs, this phone was released in 2019, comes with Android Pie, runs on a 1.6 GHz CPU, has 32 GB of storage, and supports microSD, all for $49. That's the best bang for the buck deal I've ever seen. From what I can tell so far, this is the phone I'm focusing on. Last but not least, I had to check Amazon, but as usual, I wasn't too impressed. A lot of other items on my wish list are getting cheaper though, so that's a plus. By the time I release this video, it'll be the Sunday before Black Friday. The Galaxy A10e at Walmart can be purchased anytime after Thursday evening. Last year there was a limit on the number of phones you could purchase, so I had to pick them up under 2 different email addresses. I have high hopes for this cheap project phone as my new personal phone for 2019-2020. My needs for a personal phone are pretty average, but for those of you who might want to take a look at how useful a $50 phone can be, I'll run it through some real-world tests using free software like games, image editing, and video editing. This should give you a good baseline to compare to your current phone, or maybe even a friend's phone of which you're thinking of getting the same one. Watch for that short video soon. I hope you've gotten some useful information out of this video. Leave your questions and comments in the comments section below. That's all I have for now, and I'll catch you in the next video.